Welcome to today's video. I'm taking you to Mardin, to Midyat, to Dara and to Kanti. I'm taking you to the region of Mesopotamia. It was the first time I ever went there. It was a girls' trip and it was extremely beautiful to discover this region. Let me set the scene. We are in the southeast of Turkey. Where we are gazing on the horizon is Syria. We are so close to the border. This city that we are staying at is called Mardin, and it's atop a hill. Everything is rock. Everything is a beautiful shade of orange. Everything is dry. It's hot. And there is many cultures, many religions, many faiths living together. And you can see that it has been the case throughout history. We are in an old city, an old settlement. Mesopotamia is part of the Golden Crescent, where civilization started. We are between the Euphrates River and the Tigris River, and all of that region between those two beautiful rivers is said to be the Garden of Eden, but in facts that we can actually prove this is where humans started agriculture. It's when they settled. Instead of hunting and gathering, it's when they started domesticating wheat, barley, and many other plants. There's much history. There's archaeological sites. There's wonderful mosques. It is protected by the UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. The whole city is, and you are not allowed to build anymore and disrupt the city with modern contraptions, let's say. I mean, modern buildings or destroying old buildings. It has recently been chosen for the Art Biennale, which has regrouped a lot of contemporary artists. And today I'm showing you that, which is interesting historically and visually. It's a wonder for the eyes. It's also a wonder for the taste. In a culinary sense, it's so different from what you're used to eat when you're in the Aegean region in Turkey or around Istanbul and the Marmara Sea or even the south of Turkey. The whole country it's wonderful for your taste buds and for your nose and for everything. I mean, it's a wonderful country, but the food, if you could see my face, the food. So on the psychic sense, I was very surprised to see a lot of effigies, a lot of statues, a lot of little sculptures, illustrations, mosaics all around one specific subject. The Shahmaran is a very old myth, and it is part woman, part snake. There's many tales. She comes from the region between Tarsus, Mersin, Mardin, Midyat, all of this area between Turkey and Syria, and what you can notice is that the end of her body is that of a snake. And in some representation, it feels like she's truly just listening to what the snake is telling her. And this reminds me of a TV show on Gaia called Initiation by Matthias De Stefano. Matthias De Stefano remembers his past lives, if you choose to believe that. And he presents the idea that in Anatolia, which is current-day Turkey, there is the head of a snake. That is the circuitry of the energy of this planet, of the kundalini of this planet. The head of the snake is in Anatolia, and then it goes down into Iran and then to India and all over the world across the mountain range until it ends around Patagonia and Argentina. It's not the only thing. He says that the first shaman were women that were taught by the snakes. And that, to me, meant a lot. I saw this before I went to Mardin. I witnessed how the wisdom that we all have with the feminine energy, with the snake, with the kundalini, that is this coiled energy between our hips that just goes all the way up our spine and into our third eye, which you also have noticed in my video on Göbekli Tepe, which I'm gonna link right now. We can see a very old sculpture where there's a snake along a skull, reaching for that third eye. So the fact that the earliest humans were based there and that they learned secrets, wisdom, information, downloads from snakes, and that those were women, and that then they started creating ceremony and teaching the kids and teaching their whole community about what they learned from the snakes. This is up to you, but I believe in that, and it means something to me. There's a deep remembering there. So going to Mardin and seeing this symbol that I've seen for years in Turkey, and learn her myth and see her and connect with her while being in this location rumored to be the Garden of Eden, where a woman listens to a snake and starts to eat the apple that comes from the tree of knowledge, which could also be the tree of life. And she starts to see the world in a different way. And yes, they may start wearing clothes and bear children in pain and suffering, and they are cast out of the garden. But she does get knowledge, just like Odin when he hung himself to the tree of knowledge, to the tree of life, to Yggdrasil. So this is just my voice telling you about a tree that gives you language, that a tree gives you knowledge, and that the intermediary between the tree and the woman is a snake, and that we are now in a region that was extremely abundant, that was green, that was very famous to be rich in fruits, in vegetation, and in the fields. But in the past years, in the past decades, we saw Turkey build dams to contain the water. And so the landscape has changed. And so it is arid and dry. I do not know what you will see or what you will feel. But I hope that this frequency reaches you. And if you have something to share, please leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and I hope you get to visit that place one day.